So, hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Genius Level Podcast. My name is Maurice Womack. I'm the host and the program manager for the Genius Initiative. Today, we have a very special guest, the man of the hour, Mr. Kenneth Wilson. I'll read a little bit about his bio. So, we're joined today by Kenneth Wilson, a Franklin County administrator, disciplined, measured leader known for his steady hand and quiet strength. As a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated and a father of daughters, Mr. Wilson brings a unique perspective to what it means to lead with both courage and composure. In this conversation, we explore what makes Mr. Wilson such a respected man in the community and how we can leverage those insights to recruit more men to the front line. We'll also talk about the importance of mentorship, the evolving definition of manhood, and how the Genius Movement aligns with his vision for developing the next generation of men who lead with purpose. So, welcome, Mr. Kenneth Wilson. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks. Good. Thanks for being here. I wanted to touch on first these concepts of leadership, fatherhood, and brotherhood. You've led Franklin County through incredible growth and challenges, but beneath the title of county administrator, tell me a little bit about the man, Kenneth Wilson.
Kenneth Wilson, the man is built on life's experiences. I grew up in a humble city in Western Michigan where you had to earn everything based upon your individual merit. For me, that was built on having to build on perseverance, build on grit, and just build on determination. I believe perseverance is one of your greatest traits, particularly in a man, particularly in a black man. You show me a black man, you show me somebody that had to be resilient at some point in their life and had to have values that were rooted in being able to get up after being knocked down, being able to stand up against pressures, particularly negative pressures. Many of us are drawn towards things that are negative at some point in our lives, even to seek temporary pleasure or to seek flashy material gain. A lot of the face of that, at least in the, I say in the urban experience, is tied to things that probably aren't good for you in the long run. That's why I want Ken Wilson, the man, to be someone that provides an example by their actions. Is Kenneth the man perfect? By no means, because I am a product of all the things that built me. So with that comes imperfections because of my roots, because of my background, because I wasn't born into generational wealth or all those things. I'm a public school kid. Didn't go to private schools. I was with some of the best kids, but I also was with some of the worst kids. And had to be able to operate in both environments. You just couldn't, you could try to pick the right friends, but at recess wasn't no protections around you. Wasn't like no fence around you to protect you from those that wanted to get into trouble. So you had to face it all.
Good. Now, I mean, I love that answer. Very, very mature response. What kind of brings you to a lot of that? What was tell me a little bit about like your family structure growing and how that influenced who you are.
Look at, my family structure on paper was good. I mean, living in an industrial town, having parents that came up from the South, which a lot of people say I have an accent. I probably picked it up somewhere by having parents that were from the South.
Yeah.
And
What
then,
part of the South?
Mississippi, an area near in between Tuscaloosa and Starksville. If you take both of my parents where they came from, where University of Alabama is in Mississippi State University, they grew up in a part of rural Mississippi, in two counties, Oxby County, Mississippi, and Lowndes County, that kind of set in between those areas. So I had a two parent household. There was a car for church. There was there was the work car. There was I had a swing bicycle, which some of the kids in the neighborhood thought that was the thing versus a Huffy or versus some other brand. But it's all it's all you had to put it all in the context of where you at. A lot of the kids I grew up with might have thought that my family structure should have put me on course to do even more and be even more than I am today. But it was middle class by a middle class definition. The 70s through the 80s.
Yeah.
Middle class is probably defined differently now, because you have people with college degrees are the norm, where a foundry salary raised me. I had a dad that happened to moved up in the foundry where he was at, and my mother worked at J.C. Penney's for a great part of her career. And I worked jobs, and when I got to teenage years, 11th, 12th grade, but I knew that I wanted to, even with all of those things, I felt like I saw enough around me that I was going to get out of that. That town wasn't going to hold me for long.
Gotcha.
I knew I was going to get out there, because I had visions for more than just a picket fence and a small home. I was aspirational, I guess to say. I didn't even know what it looked like then.
Okay.
The other thing that was I was probably held back on the thought was that I thought I only had two career choices. That was to be a doctor or a lawyer, and everything in between. Wasn't nobody gonna give you no money to spend no money for you to go to school to do nothing else. Yeah. But there wasn't else gonna pay you no money. So I started off at Michigan State University in pre-med, and I couldn't dissect too many things. Once they brought the cat out, I think that done me in. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go into medical technologies, try to stay pre-med. And where I finally landed at was James Madison College, which is a program within Michigan State for students that were interested in serving in the Foreign Service, or they were interested in law, or they were interested in international relations and foreign development. So I went through the James Madison College, and they gave me a pass, so to speak, at home, because, okay, now he going to be a lawyer because he doing this. So then I got accepted to, at the end of the day, I got accepted to the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University. And I thought, okay, about to do this law school thing. Then I had an advisor at Michigan State that had spent time at Ohio University, and she introduced me to public administration, which I hadn't heard of public administration. And I went and got exposed to public administration, got exposed to the area of specialization I chose was public policy and fiscal management. So the budgeting bug caught me, and the whole public policy and the budget, and the budget, the state budget was the first thing that I was exposed to studying. And I kind of got caught on to that. And I said, I'll go back and do the law school thing later. And so I got caught up in saying, I'm tired of carrying around a book bag. I need to just make this work some kind of way. So,
to use.
So in finishing up my master's in public administration, as a part of that, you had to do field experience. So I had to come to Columbus and talk with different folks and find field experience that I could complete leading up to going back to Ohio University and doing my oral dissertation and all the other things I needed to button it up. So that's how I ended up in Columbus as a part of my field experience. I spent time at the Ohio Senate.
Okay, good. Now, your upbringing is interesting. I didn't know that about you, but so what was it? You said you wanted to be when you were a child and growing up. You knew you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. So how was that? Like, where did you get those influences from? Because you said your father worked at the foundry, and your mom was in retail. Like, what experiences as a child did you have that where you were like, I want to be a doctor? And then I know you didn't eventually go into that, but what influenced you?
It was a function of being I wasn't a first generation college student. Had a number of relatives that to this day have PhDs and law degrees and such. I probably would rank somewhere in the middle of the class if you look at some of the family members. But coming from the South and coming from rural roots, that was the world that they saw, that if your son or daughter was going to be successful, them were the two likely career paths they would take. You know, it wasn't like you was going to go to school and nobody was going to get excited and pay you to be to study rocks or something, or to be anthropologist, or to be, at the great, it had to be something practical. It had to be, you know, you couldn't say I want to go into the fine arts. I want to go into theater. Well, nobody going to pay for me to go to college to this day. They wasn't going to pay for me to go to college for that.
I feel that.
So I would, and I felt like when we had a benefit, Maurice, of our kids, when they came up, they had exposure to the broad spectrum of things that they could be. But for me, I didn't have that. It was like, you need to go to college if you really want to be successful. You need to be these things. I didn't even know what a lobbyist was. And if I would have knew what a lobbyist was, a government affairs person, that's probably what I would have said I wanted to be when I grow up. You know, when I came to the State House and I saw, you know, the BMWs and the nice suits and everything, I was like, lobbyists? You just represent companies and just go in and knock on doors. Didn't even know that existed in high school. I probably, you know, all them career profiles and stuff they had us do in high school back in the day. I probably would have been like, what you want to be? Lobbyist.
Absolutely.
But I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that field existed. And there are so many things that, you know, are available to youth. But if you come from a blue collar background, you tend to get steered towards those things that people know about.
No.
And if athletics wasn't your thing, you know, athletics was, of course, the accepted way out.
Yeah, for sure. And that was at the top of everybody's list, right?
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, you know, I think, like you said, exposure is so important, you know, and you are our first ambassador for the Genius program. What was it about the program that made it important to you, and that you were like, hey, I want to be a part of this and represent, you know, the Genius program?
People say this all the time, and I believe it's very true. You can't be what you don't see. You can read about people, places, and things, but it's something else to see it. And I jumped on the opportunity to be an ambassador because it gives me the opportunity to show youth that they can be me. It's nothing special about me, other than I just have a ferocious work ethic and a thirst for success, and a desire to had the voices of Jesse Jackson in my head. I am somebody. I want to be somebody. That's what really motivated me to be what I am. It ain't nothing special about me other than just the work, and it had taken advantage of all the opportunities that have been afforded to me. So I relish being an ambassador because it gives me the chance to show that a kid can make it from a small town that didn't rush for 5,000 yards in high school as a running back and didn't have a jump shot good enough to average 20 points and 10 rebounds and 5 assists a game. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you right now. And I'm not at least coming off, I had a career at a Big Ten, ACC, Big East school in one of those sports. Didn't happen for me. They didn't retire my jersey in high school. I liked Friday Night Lights, but I ain't got no records with my name on it. So I want kids to know that you could love sports. Sports teach you so many values. But if you can engage in sport, but everybody don't make it in sports. But sports can give you the tools to use to be able to excel in other fields of life.
Absolutely, yeah. I seen a clip not too long ago of Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, where he was talking about, and this was back in the 80s, man. He was talking about you got 1 million brothers competing for 7 jobs that last 4 years in the NBA, And so like that, we need to expose kids to other opportunities, right? And then back to what you were saying, this idea of like, how do you create this system now where you can have men in the classroom and showing kids that, there are different pathways to success, right? Because I consider you to be a very successful man, and you didn't take, the sports route. And I think a lot of kids, at least initially, different things are popping up now where kids are looking into like YouTuber, which is different than
becoming influencers. I could become an influencer.
But even if you were to find success there, the odds of becoming successful enough to where you can kind of make a living for yourself are very low, And so I think the fact that you're able to contribute your time to show kids that there are different ways to be successful and to make a good living for yourself.
There are different ways to be successful. Sports and entertainment gets so much attention because the life is so lavish. Even though it's short term. But you have to, the thing about sports though, or you have to decide what you want to be when you grow up twice. Because those that are successful in sports, they started when they were little kids, knowing what they wanted to be. Knowing they wanted to, even if they played multiple sports, they knew that what they wanted the end game to be. And then they become that. And then you have that lifestyle. Then when it's over, the successful ones have to decide what I'm going to be next.
That's very.
They're
still young. They're still
they had to figure it out. How many restaurants you go in every time they named after some athlete or something. Restaurants got popular. What you want to do when you finish? I want to own my restaurant. What you want to buy real estate. Everybody, you can't, Michael Jordan's empire was built because that brand was constructed under Nike, that it lives on long past the days he actually played. So it wasn't as difficult for him to figure out what he wanted to be for the rest of his career. And you don't look back, you just go to possessing stuff. Magic Johnson is another example. And Shaq, them two, they like got on everything, and they have a diverse portfolio of things that they own and things that they are engaged in. But everybody struggles. So the majority probably struggle making that adjustment. And that's why you hear a lot of athletes talk about when the lights stopped flashing and when the game ended, they had to deal with depression and some real mental health issues that they had to work through, because everything they had built to be, everything they were, their identity was so connected with that.
Yeah.
And they had to, what I'm gonna do next? But going back to your first question, and this is what everyone has to consider when they ask who they are as the man. You hear so much talk now about name, image, and likeness in sports, and athletes today being able to leverage that in high school now with recent court decisions all the way through college. But Brother Womack, think about if we would have started stressing to boys from the time they were in kindergarten, letting them know all the way through school, what does name, image, and likeness really mean, and how successful they could be if they thought about their name, image, and likeness in whatever walk of life they in.
Yeah. How do you
now, if you the mailman, care about your name, image, and likeness, you might become the most famous mailman.
Absolutely.
You could be a butcher. I don't care. But if you think about always taking care of, one, your name, two, your image, three, your likeness, and you break that down as to what that really means, and you hold yourself to the highest standard possible in them three areas.
Yeah, wow, that
somebody gonna see you.
Yeah, man, I love how you break that down across the board, and regardless of what career field or vocation you choose, that's very important, right? Your name, like a lot of people they call it branding. But at the end of the day, it's all those things kind of combined, right?
Yeah.
And then how do you leverage that, your reputation, and what that means and how that can contribute to your success?
When we get to the end and we talk about what's our legacy, what we going to be remembered for, if your name, image, and likeness is intact, legacy takes care of itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I like how you connected it to this idea of name, image, and likeness and legacy. Speaking of legacy, you're a lifelong public servant, community advocate, somebody that's well respected here in Franklin County. And above all, you're a man, right? And so you're a man that I see that does a lot in the community. But studies have shown that men in general don't volunteer and aren't out in the community at the same rates as our female counterparts. Now, what do you think we can do to change that? And what are some of the reasons behind that?
We have to make servant leadership cool. We had to make community service cool. We need to make mentorship cool. We need to get individuals to be able to step back and relax and look at their success and share it with somebody else. Give them the secret sauce.
Yeah.
For men, the struggle up the hill is so hard that they tend not to look down. They trying to stay up there. Because the wind is always blowing the hardest as you get to the top versus the speed of the winds as you go down. The late Coach John Thompson from Georgetown breaks that down, but he broke that down. I was watching one interview with him, and he talked about his great players. He coached Iverson, he coached Mutombo, he coached Patrick Ewing. The list goes on and on. And how the ones like Alonzo Mourning was comfortable and strived to be at the top of the mountain because he could take the wind up there. Wind blows highest up as you striving to get up. The wind blows so much harder versus some men are comfortable being down because they don't have to deal with that extra pressure.
Yeah.
They don't want so much. Ain't no accident. You see the trait early. You see the characteristic. You hope you grow out of it. I'm going to sit in the back of the classroom and hope don't nobody bother me. I don't want to be up front. I don't want to be center. I'm not getting on the quiz bowl because I don't want to answer nobody's questions. I'm not getting in the spelling bee. I'm not. they're just not gonna do that. And volunteerism meaning being up and being out front. A lot of brothers are some of the most charismatic people ever, and they don't use it because they don't want to be out there. They don't want to give up. They don't want to give up enough. You know, we hear it a lot of time with athletes that they aren't civically engaged. You know, Jackie Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all of these, they were like really, really super engaged in the community, in affairs of the community. LeBron is an example of that now. But a lot of players, they like, I'm just trying to get paid. You know, when the whip gonna pick me up to take me to this party I'm about to go to and, you know, pop some bottles. I ain't really worried about.
No, I agree, man. I love what you say about making it cool, you know, and you know, that's one of the things we're doing with the Genius Initiative, trying to challenge men. That's the other piece of it, challenging men, right? I was talking to my wife about this idea that men and boys respond better to challenges, right? As opposed to, coddling boys and men, like challenging men and encouraging them to step up to the challenge. I've always seen has kind of been something that has paid more dividends for young boys.
When we are engaged in the community, and we stand out. We are powerful forces.
Absolutely.
But don't none of us do it.
Yeah.
You know, even the work behind the scenes in a non-elected capacity like myself, I worry about the pipeline. Who coming after me? I don't want to be the first and the last county administrator in the history of Franklin County. But who's going to be next? You know, and who would be after that person? And it's so critical because so much of life is impacted by who's in control of public policy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely need more of us in those seats and at those tables.
And with diverse life experiences. If we had, you know, hopefully I'm hearing that this government shutdown is, there's a pathway out. But if you had more people that understood struggle and could relate to the people that's impacted by this, don't have nothing to do with what's going on, you would get different outcomes.
Absolutely. But we need to activate those people, man, and get them out there. Another thing, man, about you, and it's the same, I share this characteristic with you, is that we're both girl dads, right? So that's something that kind of, that concept kind of became popular with Kobe. You know, Kobe was a famous girl dad. Now, what do you think, or how do you think being a girl dad kind of changes your concepts of like healthy masculinity and nurturing? And do you think we can kind of extend some of those things to men in general?
Once you become a girl dad, your whole perspective changes on even how you interact, the words you choose, how your aspirations, you know, you shouldn't have a hint of toxic masculinity in you, because at that point you want the best for them. You want your daughters to be the best of everything. It should be there anyway, because men wouldn't be here without a mother, but men tend to see mothers differently. But when you got a daughter, and in this day and age, you want your daughters to be successful. And most importantly, you want to carry yourself in a way where you setting the bar awful high for any guy that want to talk to them about anything.
Interesting. Yeah, for sure.
To be able to get their attention. You want to set the bar so high that they be like, if you ain't at my dad level, I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah,
Can I have your phone number?
Yeah.
No, I don't see the characteristics in you to have my phone number.
Yeah, that's weird.
My dad wouldn't. He don't want me settling for no.
Sure,
It's somebody at your standard. Yes,
you set the example.
You the ultimate. You set the bar. I think that's your most important job as a dad is to set the bar. And try to. Not all of us are on go through a process, but we all are trying to how we carry ourselves, how we interact with our wives are an example of how what their expectations are going to be.
Absolutely.
As women, and you want them to see that they have that they can go into math, they can go into science, they can go into engineering, they can go into fine art and fashion. It's whatever they want to do because they are built with more confidence. At least my two are built with more confidence than I ever could have dreamed of having as I was coming up. But I guess to get to the essence of your question is, women in my life are my why. My wife and my two daughters, now adults, they are the why. They are why I do what I do. Absolutely. They are why I put forward the effort to be focused on succeeding at anything.
Good. No, that's great, man. Like I said, I have two daughters, and I think it's like you said, it's like both sides. You have a certain level of nurturing for them. You handle them differently than you would, I guess, I imagine, with boys, right? And then also you want to set the example, and so in those ways, you it's like working it from both ends for your daughters, and so I definitely think that kind of perspective helps. Hopefully define, a healthier kind of masculinity that we need to propagate.
And in the case of my daughters, there's not one formula that works for both of them. They are two uniquely different individuals that are wired different, motivated differently. And as a father, you also got to instinctively realize that.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're also a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. Now, what do you think about membership in organizations like fraternities, civic organizations like the 100 Black Men? How do you think those organizations help to support and develop men? And then how do you think, we can get more of that or get more men to participate in those organizations to benefit the community?
Organizations, fraternal organizations, Divine Nine organizations are very important because they build brotherhood beyond biological. They build purpose and commitment to a common set of principles and ideals, dreams. And they start, in the case of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, it starts with the principles that and the aspiration of the 10 founders, and it grows from there. Being focused on standing out, standing up for something greater than yourself. It's not about me, it's about us. It's about brotherhood. It's about standing together. It's about giving to the community. Service. Every organization, nonprofit organizations, philanthropic organizations, fraternal, it's about service. And it's about valuing service to people. Communities are stronger when you have people within them committed to service. And when you're with a group of diverse individuals that are focused on service and a positive commitment to others, my fraternity, we build on achievement in every field of human endeavor. So you celebrate your brothers across a whole wide spectrum of professions, and doing a number of great things, not only here nationally but internationally. There should be no barriers on wanting to be impactful, because we live within a global economy, so we should have international aspirations for success for everybody. We need to think more globally. Um, there's no value in being a isolationist, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And speaking of like isolationists, and there's a lot of talk now recently about the male loneliness crisis of men just in general being lonely. How do you think, participating in organizations like Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, 100 Black Men, how do you think that benefits men in terms of their mental health and their capacity to be in the community?
It different people from different perspectives, um they enhance relationships with each other, because it gives you somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You can find a group of people that you can relate to, that within any organization you can have a lot of people with diversified interests, but their moral base and the infrastructure should be there so that everybody has a place to call home, a place to be able to mentally unpack sometime. And when you hold everything in and you internalize it all, and like you say, you put yourself in isolation, you get bad results. That's when deep depression set in.
Yeah.
That's when basically, lock yourself away, and that's when you can, turn to substances that aren't good for you, as a way of being able to cope with being by yourself.
Yeah. So definitely, you encourage that level of participation for men for sure, right?
Yeah.
Now you are, we were talking about pressure, the wind's blowing harder at the top. You're at the top of the top when it comes to Franklin County, and then we're in a political environment too that forces you to kind of, be at your best. Now, how do you maintain calm and composure in times like this and in situations that can seem chaotic? How do you maintain your emotional and psychological advantage, if you will? Or
I've learned to take time outs. I've learned the value of silently counting to 10 before you take action. I've learned the value of being able to control anxiety, being able to, and the most difficult thing that we all face, and the greatest challenge, is maintain an emotional intelligence under extreme pressure sometimes. When people just flat out talking crazy to you for no reason at all, other than to say, I'm going to trigger this person. Because I know they can't be as cool, calm, and collected as they pretend to be. I'm going to make them act a fool.
Sure.
There's people out there that get to the point where they see you, they watch you, they be like, I need to find out what button they can push to make you lose it.
Yeah.
Say, see, I told y'all, he wasn't what he played to be. That was all a front. He was fronting. He hot-head. He can't control his emotions.
Yeah.
We heard about he smacked somebody in 6th grade in the lunch line. I just had to bring it out of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with this and bring the real out of him.
Yeah, bring it out of him. Get him into something. I heard that he liked rap music. Now I know why he like rap music, because he got a little loose end that he keeps concealed from 9 to 5.
Yeah. So how do you like what type of tactics? I know you were saying counting from 1 to 10 and kind of taking a breath before reacting. Like, what are there any other tactics that you recommend?
I love to watch sports.
Okay.
Just sitting in front of the TV or able to go to a sporting event live is a diversion to me.
Okay.
I don't get to do it enough, but like going to a live comedy show.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like my outlet, to just like therapy is like not taking life so seriously.
Gotcha, yeah.
I throw people off like that I'll just randomly, say quote from a movie or something
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
people
that's
like,
my thing,
why
too.
you just say, do you know you didn't just say that? I'm like, hey, I just
keep it light as much as you
keeping it
can.
light as much as you can, because I
Yeah.
mean that pressure cook up stress, man. You can't be uptight and serious all the time. I like music. I don't get to listen to it as much as I want because I'm just like I'm like Sirius radio, Sirius XM radio in the car, listening to the public affairs matters of the day, which I need to break that and start,
Yeah.
Sometimes I go through periods of time when certain things happen in the political sphere that I say I'm just not gonna listen to it. I'm just gonna take a time out. I gotta come back to it because it's my reality, but I'm gonna listen to music in the car as I go to, and then some of the music I listen to is therapy. The other thing I got to do more of, Brother Womack, is sleep. Sleep is underrated.
Yeah,
When people like take pride in being a warrior, getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep at 12.
Can't do it, right?
I think I'm beginning to think, I'm like, you can win at 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
after you age and get older. I think that 7 hours of sleep is a competitive advantage out here in these streets.
It's a gift for sure. And I think there's that grind culture that a lot of people push, but you grinding too long, you get ground down, and so I think definitely sleep has been a one of those friends to me as well. It's something that you don't want to compromise on. At least I know definitely every now and then you can't get as much sleep as you want, but as a regular kind of thing that you want to engage in, making sure that you get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
sure,
get
right?
7, 8 hours of sleep. It's good to go out and have a nice meal. Kick back, unwind. If you like gym shoes, buy you a couple pair of new shoes every so often. All of us need a little something to
Yeah, sure.
treat to yourself. I'm not gonna go buy a slice of cheesecake, but if I can buy a new necktie or something, that's
Treat yourself.
yeah, treat yourself. Treat
So-
yourself is my advice to people too.
Good.
If you can, treat yourself. And no matter what level you are in life, you can treat yourself. You just had to choose different things. Because I talk to people all the time. They look back and they be like, you remember when we used to be good at this level of restaurants, and now it seems like we don't want to look back no more.
Yeah,
but it was good at that time. It served that purpose. It was that at that time. And then as you get better, you do better, you eat better, everything changes.
Yeah, you're right. I found, man, I was telling my daughters, man, if you can get to a place where you could want less, you're gonna be winning. You know what I mean? Because you kind of condition yourself. Because I feel like a lot of that anxiety today is built around people wanting more, and wanting a certain level of something, and then in that it creates all these anxieties that don't serve you well. So
yeah. One of my mentors talked about. He broke it down like with food when you don't have it. The goal is to eat as much and have as much availability that you can eat. Then when you go to the left, you advance, and it's not the quantity you eating, but the quality of what you eat begin to become what's important to you.
Yeah, it's levels to it. Huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's that whole buffet versus fine dining. When you ain't got it, that buffet sounds good because it's a variety of everything.
Yeah, you're right. The buffet used to go
I'm old enough to know. What the Ponderosa age. You get
classic. Yeah.
get everything there.
Yeah, and then as you start to have a little something that ain't good enough, and you got to start to like that makes sense. That makes sense. Speaking of mentors, you said your mentor had said that to you. Who has been, and one of the main things here with Genius is getting men to be positive male role models. Who has been the most influential man in your life, and tell us a little bit about him and why.
I've watched people make moves, and they've been people that some of them I follow from afar. Of course, everybody's first. You hanging out with your dad, and your dad gives you certain experiences to a point, and your father, depending on who what kind of line of work or what they did, they give you they build certain qualities in you, or it might be a grandfather that you was exposed to in doses that gives you certain nuggets. Like I had a grandfather, one of his quotes, don't then come to a sleeper but a dream. You need to get up and do something. Yeah. We go down south to visit him. He would get us and have us up. Just you gonna be doing something. Yeah. You gonna be up. You gonna be working. Just having a sense of confidence in yourself. My dad saying, you might not be at this school you want to go to, or that school you want to go to, but if you're a true star, you're gonna shine wherever you at. And you here in Columbus, and in Franklin County, working in the legislature gave me the opportunities to be influenced by a number of charismatic people that I took pieces and bits from coming up. Being in the state senate, seeing the House of Representatives, members of the House of Representatives, seeing titans in business, seeing all of these people. I mean, we here in Franklin County have a number of people that have been legendary figures. After coming out of graduate school, I had the blessing of after graduate school being hired by he since recently passed. He was in State Senator Ben Espy. And Ben Espy taught me so many things: discipline, being focused, having a quiet strength, just how to approach each day, just focus. I think that was one of the things. I think he just was like, you guys just like being focused. I guess and at the time I didn't really know he was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, but he was one of those people that I really was really influenced by. Happens to be a girl dad. He was a girl dad.
I know it. Yeah, I know his daughters very well.
So I mean, I feel like it was just like so many dots connected with me. I'm so thankful that I had the chance to work under someone that taught me that discipline, taught me that focus. Don't be walking through the halls with the top button of your dress shirt open and your tie pulled down, thinking that ain't the look for you.
That ain't the look. Yeah.
That ain't the look for you. So it's just just watching people like our former mayor Michael Coleman and getting to know him. It's been a number of people. State Senator was then also a state senator, Ray Miller. It's a number of individuals that I've had time that I watched and they spent time and talked to me when I wasn't even on their level. Otto Beatty II. I had times to sit down and talk with him, and I'm just a low-level staffer. And he got this legacy and the wealth and all of that, and just all of those people that took time and talked to me, like some of the founders of the Black elected Democrats of Ohio. I got a chance to spend time with them. I got a chance to spend. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody. I mean, it's a number of former legislators, too many to name, that at different points in time, I was able to be a sponge and extract things from them.
Good. No, that was a great list. And all those men, when I'm thinking about Mayor Coleman, Ben Espy, Otto Beatty, those are what I would consider like classic men, like the classic archetype of a man. Now, they're very different than the men you see today. What do you think that the modern man, if you will, can learn from classic men in this idea of a classic man?
Being a straight shooter, having the highest level of integrity possible, operating with humility, but being uncompromising when it comes to being respected.
Awesome. No, I love it. Man, you dropping gems today, man. I really appreciate you coming out. We're gonna wrap it up with some quick hit questions. Okay, so it's very, very to the point. Ask you these questions and give me your thoughts on them. All right, you ready for them?
I'll see.
So, what would you rather be, a gardener in a war or a warrior in a garden?
Warrior in a garden.
How so?
I want to be in the most aggressive position possible.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree. So what's the most underrated trait in a good man?
Humility.
Finish this sentence. A man's power comes from.
A man's power comes from his work ethic.
Who taught you the most about being a man, and what was the lesson?
My father taught me the most about being a man, and the most important lesson I learned is I try to be as self-sufficient and self-reliant as I can humanly possible be at any given point.
What's one book that every man should read?
That's a tough one right there, because it's a lot of The Measure of a Man, Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay. I have to check that out. I've never read that one. So when do you feel most at peace?
When I feel like I'm the most sound physically and mentally.
Good. Now, why do you think men need a man cave?
From somewhere that's not controlled by anybody else, from the decorum to what's in your mini fridge, to what you thinking about, when your place of meditation.
Something that's just our own.
It's just your own. I think it's most important. We talked about what's those tools, but just a place to not talk to yourself, but meditate and speak to yourself internally about pressures. Because sometimes you face things that can't nobody really talk about or deal with, because all the pressure and the people, they don't understand. They might not be understanding you at one given point from multiple directions.
Yeah, sure.
And can't nobody else sort it out but you and God.
Love it. Yeah, because that was one of the things. I mean, you gave a perfect answer, man. Because I was like, what is this concept of a man cave? Because I do feel like I need one, and I have, But like, why is it that But what you said makes perfect sense, man. Where you kind of control everything in there, and then no one has a say in the decorations. That's your quiet place to go and talk to God, and kind of be on your own,
You
man.
can,
I
but you
love
can
it.
arrange anything in there the way you want to arrange it. What else? What other things that we have influence over when we get to a certain point in our life?
I feel that.
You don't pick. You stop to have. You have limited input in vacations. You have limited input on anything that's in the house.
You're right.
You can pick the size of the TV maybe you want to have, and there's 3. This is bonus content. You ain't even asked for. This bonus content. For me, my advice to be is, you want to have a nice car, because you spend so much time in that car. You want to be happy with your car. Don't have a car that you're not happy with unless there's nothing else that you can do at the moment. Have a nice bed, because you're gonna spend a lot of time in that. You want your quality of sleep. We talked about the importance of sleep being underrated. And you want the latest technology as it relates to watching your sports, news, or whatever you choose to watch on TV. And give everybody else everything else. Give everything, your daughters, your kids, your spouse, everybody else taking everything else from you.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, especially as a married man of children, you got to have something, man, because you're giving so much of everything else to everybody else.
You don't get nothing else to hold on. Maybe a few threads of clothes. You might have a shoe collection or something that you hold on. But it's not too much you're gonna. It's not too much you're gonna have. Keep it simple. Because if you try to control everything, or try to say I'm gonna control my fair share things, brothers, it ain't gonna lead to It's gonna lead to limited longevity, and it's gonna impact your pursuit of happiness.
I agree 100%, man. And those are definitely some wise words, Administrator Wilson. I appreciate you coming out. I know you're a busy man out in the community doing good work, and coming by and dropping some gems on us today, man. I really learned a lot today, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man. Glad to be a part of this, and again, appreciate the invite to be a part of it, be a voice. So,
well, thanks for joining us. Had a great episode. Check out Mr. Wilson, his bio. Do a quick Google search, because he's done a lot in the community. And thank him again for sparing some of his time. If you haven't already, go to geniuslevel.org. Put your name in the hat. We're trying to build a database of positive male role models so that we can get them out in the community like we talked today. So if you're watching this podcast and you're a man and you got something to give to the next generation, make sure you visit geniuslevel.org and follow us on social media. So thanks again, Mr. Wilson. Appreciate you. And that's all we got.